All right, what's up, guys? Mamba here with another weekly recap. Another great week, 15 for 19, I believe. Yeah, 15 for 19 this week. Um, another great week. I had some really good trades. I'm not going to recap, the bangers and the trades I had. I'm going to recap the best setups I've had, the best TAs I think there is, and I also have a loss as well. I'm going to go over that loss. Um, I have, I think, one, two, three, four, five, six trades, and one of them is going to be a loss recap. The other ones are going to be winners. Again, some of them are, I do have in my recap, I mean, not my recap, but my trades last week. Some of them were higher percent winners than others, but this is the best TA setups I like. It's a good, educational recap, and let's go ahead and get into it. And if we do have time, I'll go through a SPY analysis. If not, I'm just gonna record and post it on Twitter. So let's go ahead and start with Snow. Snow was the first one I took on Monday back here. So when I was watching on Snow, I saw some put flow come in. I do watch the flow. So some of these trades I am gonna mention that I did note off of the flow. So what I see, if there's flow and it intrigues me, I'm gonna look at the ticker and I'm gonna play it off of some TA. I'm not just gonna follow the flow, that is, right? See the flow and then trigger the trade. Now you see Snow has been riding this dive and also forming a nice uptrend, right? So my trigger was, if we break and hold the 9Y, because it bounced here, bounced here. So it's been riding up the 9, and then you also break and hold the trigger, I'm going to take this trade. I'm going to trigger it to the downside. Now, you do have a few trim spots right here. So this is what I would do. I would line up a target there, and then you really don't have anything coming down here. The next target would be, is this the open? No, that's 840. So this is the open right here. So I would line up the open right there. Always the open, and the close are levels for me always, no matter what ticker or the indices. Um, and you possibly have over here another little right there. Yeah, you can off of this price action right the day before. So I ended up triggering it right here, right off this candle break. It broke and held. And I took this. Sometimes I'd like to see a break hook and go, which you somewhat got, not a clean one, right? On Snow here. But we ended up, let me delete this. So I ended up taking this right there. And my stop loss would be what? Break and hold on the 5 minute at 164, right? A nice cycle level number, round number. That's what I would take. And this is, I ended up in. So what you hate to see is consolidation. I'd rather it stop me out immediately than just consolidate and then finally stop me out, because time decay, right? I believe I took weeklies on these. It was a Monday, so yeah, for sure took weeklies on these. More than likely on a Monday, I'll take weeklies. Sometimes I'll end up taking next week's, just depending on what's going on and what I'm seeing and what time frame I took the trade on. This is a 5 minute time frame. I don't mind taking weeklies. I wanted to play out right away. It ended up coming up here, testing, rejecting, looked good, right? You like to see this nice little double top there. You want some more downside. Now you're further downside. You got to watch this break and hold, right about there, and then you do have some support right there, right? But really, this you came down here, looked like it started to flag up there, kind of broke out of the flag, but again failed. Not clean price action. Again, consolidation, little double top. Again, fake out, I guess, right here off of this double top drop, but this ended up stopping me out right about there. So I took this for a 14%. This candle right there stopped me out, came up, and I was like, okay, good. I took the loss right there. I'm happy with that. It's fine. It could have been worse, but coming back during the day and looking back at it, this ended up dropping. So it was a clean trigger, but you cannot nail everything. And I'm not just going to hold it just because of the flow, right? Um, the flow usually doesn't lie, but I don't know how high this is going to go, because they did grab weeklies, and whoever did grab weeklies could continue to average in, right? Whatever they know, whatever's going on with the ticker, whatever they're seeing, they could continue to average in. Maybe they're playing it off of a higher time frame, right? I saw it. I saw the flow intrigue me. I played it off of 5 minute, therefore I'm going to respect my 5 minute time frame, and ended up stopping me right there for 14%. Came down, bounced, and then fell through, which would have been sweet. Hit my first target here. This was the support. That wasn't a target. This is the target, and then down here, nearly hit this right target right there. But that was the next day. The gap down and then a flush. Took that loss. It's fine. You're gonna win some, lose some. Rough start to the trading week. I think that day on Monday I was 0 for 2. It was Snow and Intel. I also took Intel for minus 12%. That's not one I'm going to recap though. But again, respect your time frame, respect your T8. That's fine. We're going to win some, lose some. Let's look forward to the next day for another banger. Now, NVIDIA. NVIDIA was a banger. Now, this one ran for 88%. It ran further, but I took this Mander, actually, Money Mander in the Discord, another trader, a head trader at King Cap. I took this trade with him. I just waited for an entry, took it a bit late, early on. I waited for it to climb up into resistance. So this was off of a higher time frame. You can see this nice uptrend on NVIDIA, right? You can see this nice uptrend on NVIDIA, nice strong trend line. We broke and held, came down and bounced, right? But I went into the hourly. I wanted a little bit of a more in-depth look on the price action. So you guys can see, let's go back into the daily real quick. You guys can see this level right here. This is a gap fill. We filled the gap. That's a gap fill reversal. One of my favorite swing trade TAs I like to take swings off of, right? Gap fill reversal. You fill the gap and then you start to come down, right? Reject it, fill it, reject it, close below, and then look for downside. And that's a clean gap fill reversal on the video. I didn't play it, of course, on this one. You're still riding the trend. What I ended up doing, I didn't even see it up here at this gap fill on this day, that is. But anyways, I ended up taking it. I think on this day right here, what was it? 0214. I took it right there on this. Now, the trigger here is that resistance. You got a nice clean resistance. So I was looking at the hourly and we're climbing up there. I took it right here. I think I took it early on the hourly because sometimes you don't cleanly come up and hit the level, right? So I don't mind taking it up here. And then the next, I think the next day ended up running up a little bit, or that same day ended up running up a little bit, came into this. Now, what I did alert in the Discord was I'm half sizing here into this position, and then I ended up grabbing next week's on this, right? Because it's a higher time frame. I grabbed next week's on this, it's a higher time frame. So what I ended up telling myself is if it comes back into this trend line, I'll add some more on the reject and close on the daily, right? I don't want to see it on the hourly, I want to see it on the daily. So it never ended up doing that. Ended up again respecting this gap fill level, this 230.8, really strong TA off of this GFR gap fill reversal, right? So back into the hourly, I took this, came up here, rejected, and then next day gap down, just consolidation, theta decay on the hourly. You can see right here, close there, gap down. Again, nice little climb up. You can see the gap down, climb up, gap down, consolidated, climb up, and then you dropped, right? So my target was, I did, of course, trim some along the way. When I have targets set, that doesn't mean, I did have targets set on the 5 minute, but that doesn't mean I'm going to wait till that target hits. But in this case, on the 5 minute, I had a target right there. 220 was my initial target. And I grabbed it somewhere up here. So what I liked about this was that it never ended up coming through this gap fill, right? You like to see that, right? It won't give me too much confidence if we did, even though the trend line is there. You'd rather respect the gap fill level. So I ended up coming down, touching this level, 220 on Thursday. I did forget to trim. I did not forget to trim. I was live Thursday. You guys know I'm live Thursday morning on the market on YouTube, right? For everyone. And I was distracted. I didn't see. I had a lot of alerts coming in. I probably skipped through this alert, but I never saw it come down here. It did alert me. I wasn't paying attention. It ended up coming up, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna regret this." But fortunately, it ended up coming down here, and I trimmed a fourth, I believe, right there. And what I did was I held it the next day. It gapped down, and my next target would be right there, 213.4. Trimmed some there. Then now I'm holding half of my initial position, right? A fourth, and my last exit was here at 210. I ended up taking it over here at 210, and that's a clean level. I think you can see it on a higher time frame. Yeah, on the 30 minute, I ended up setting my level there. I let the Discord know I'm taking the rest at 210. Took it right here at this candle. Took the rest of that 88%, and then you can see the nice bounce off that level. So you love to see this, right? You love to see your levels being respected, your targets being respected, and especially when you exit a trade and just bounce. That's just a perfect clean exit and a bounce, right? Now, that's with NVIDIA. So 88% on this one. That would probably ran more, but I took 80, slightly more, that is. Don't know if I hit a bag, but I did take it at 88% on the second half, I believe. Now, in phase was the next one. In phase was a flow trade. In phase was a flow trade. I saw lots of put flow coming in on this name. You do have nice resistance throughout here. So if we look at a higher time frame on NVIDIA, you could see you got 30-minute resistance from up here. You could even highlight this as a supply zone. So right up here into this, right? That's about a $3 supply zone. Now, I don't want to hold it that long because I took next week's on this, right? I took next week's on this. This was Wednesday, so I definitely took next week's on this because this name is volatile. I believe I took next week's on this. I'm not sure. I'd have to go back and look at the Discord, but usually when a name is volatile, I do like taking next week's. I don't take weeklies as much. But in phase now, the candles, what you're seeing here, it did not look like this during that day. You had the fills, you had the nice candles going. There was no gaps like this. But I ended up taking, I saw this nice little trend, ended up taking it here. Some could say it's an ascending triangle, but the put flow intrigued me. You have a really good 30-minute supply zone up here. So I ended up being patient for this trade, waited for it to break and hold through this trend line, and ended up doing it. So even if you do have an ascending triangle and it breaks through this trend line and hold, hey, that validates the pattern, right? So not just in phase though, there was lots of put flow coming in across the board. There was put flow on Amazon, on the indices coming in the millions, right? So this was a higher confidence play because when I've noted the put flow a few times before when millions come in, and it's played out to the T. And you got to pay attention to your expiration on that put flow because sometimes it could be next week's. So next week's might take time, but it ends up playing out. This though is put flow for the indices and names across the board. They were coming in for 2 DTEs on a Wednesday. So you're looking for a move soon to happen. It's going to happen either, today or the next day, right? Or you're going to get smacked at that time decay. And what ended up happening is broken held the trend line. I triggered it and they tried squeezing me out here. I held it, right? This was initially this would have been a stop loss level right there around 218, but we squeezed right there. So this was 10 minutes for the close, and then right there we finally closed off of this candle. But I held it. We gapped down the next day. Right away, I trimmed some. This trade, I took half out at 40%, and I set my second half at stop loss at entry because on the daily, despite the put flow, on the daily, what the indices were telling me was upside. So I took advantage of this and took half of my position out and set the rest at stop loss entry. What ended up happening, we nearly came up and gap filled, and then we just flushed. I did not look at what these cons came down to. I don't want to look at what they came down to, but obviously over a bag, right? Maybe 200%, maybe even more. But clean, right? And then you could set here, look at this target. You can see the consolidation up here off of this price action. Look where we came down to, double bottom there and held the support nice. So in phase was a nice, another winner, 40% on those. That was taken on the 15th on Wednesday. Now, this one was one of my favorites. I've been trading SPY on the 1 minute, not the 1 month, the 1 minute. And this was a pretty cool one. When was this? On the 15th. On the 15th. I took this on the 15th. This was right here. Okay. So I missed 2 opportunities on this trade, right? Lately I've been playing the OBR, the ORB, sorry, the opening range breakout, right? So what I would do is set, the high on this, or it would have been, I'd have to look at the 5 minute. I set it off the 5 minute, and then I triggered off the 1 minute. But that's not how I play this. We're not going to get into that right now. But what I ended up doing was I saw this trend right here. I lined this up. I like this setup. I was just going to watch it. I haven't taken any intraday 1 minute plays on SPY. I've only done the morning, right? The morning session, that was it. But check this out. This broken held. I just watched it just run. So this was a nice setup, right? And then there was another one right here. I had that trend line lined up, broken held, nice. So I'm looking for scalps. I'm not looking to just hold this. I'm looking for scalps. I'm looking for between 10 and 20% on these 1 minute scalps on SPY. I don't want to hold too long because I'm trading it off the 1 minute. 1 minute is a smaller time frame. You're looking for that short move, right? Off of your TA. So a trend line break and hold, I'm in, and then I'll scalp, right? This candle alone probably ran. I'm taking 0 DTEs as well, right? So time decay, that theta decay will hit you. So it's a 1 minute time frame. I'm looking to be in and out. That's it, period. I'm not looking, for no 300%, no 200%, not even 100%. If it goes, it goes. It's all right, but playing it off the 1 minute, give me my little gain, and then I'm out. What I ended up doing, I missed this play initially, and then I lined up another trend line, watched it again, missed it. I'm just watching, right? There's nothing. I've never played this intraday like this, especially trend lines on the 1 minute. I don't trade off the 1 minute. This is new to me. I've been doing it for the past 2 weeks, but it's only the opening range. And then finally, this right here, I lined up this trend line right there, and I told myself, all right, that's it. I'm gonna take this if this ends up breaking and holding. And what it ended up doing, it did break and hold over here. I triggered the trade, and you can see the nice run. And this alone gave me 44% on a 0 DTE. This happened twice to me where we had this nasty candle drop. This was a quick, hard drop. That's what made those cons run. And then it happened to me later on in the week where I took it off of a trend break, and I was just lucky to have another one of these strong candles. But even stronger on the other one. The other one ran 66% in 2 minutes. 66% in 2 minutes. I'll actually recap that on Twitter. But that was another great one as well. So nice quick 1 minute trigger. Took this, drop, fell through. Nice. I like it. I'll take it. 44%, and I was out of that trade, right? Need to take a hit on that hookah. So now the last two ones are swings. Let's go into Pfizer on the daily. I took this on the 15th of February. So I saw huge put flow come in on Pfizer. I don't see this on Pfizer ever. I've never seen a million plus on Pfizer. But we ended up getting a million plus put flow. And I still remember, I still have that image in my head. It was Amazon, then Pfizer. Amazon had like 2 million, then Pfizer right after it came in. 1 million put flow. You looked at the price action. I was watching on the 5 minute, of course, looking for a trigger. Where we at on the 15th, and I ended up taking it. I believe, as soon as we came into some resistance right there, I just lined up a little trend right there, and then I had a support lined up right here, just like that. And what I did was, if we just climb up into this, I'll just trigger it. I'm swinging it. I'm not looking for a precise entry or anything. I'm not looking to play it off of a 5 minute time frame. I ended up just triggering it somewhere around here. And the same day ended up dropping, didn't trim any. My target, now let's remove this, and let's remove this. So my camera is not working. I don't know what's wrong. That's why you guys don't see me up in the corner, but I try to get it fixed before BTV. I targeted what? This candle right, this 43 level. 43 level, you can see right here on the open. We open right there on that candle on the 31st of January, and you could see here how it's a bit respected here, right? You fell through, came up, respected it, rejected, closed on it, rejected again, and then once you got through, you got a little break, hook, and go off of that level. So I have to set it at 43. It's close, yes, but my main target was this little trend line we got going on. Not little, but on this daily time frame trend line we got going on, was I just ended up lining up this trend line. Nothing clean, right? Nothing strong on this trend line, because you really didn't have further momentum on the upside. You got a little bounce over here, and then you just consolidated. Nothing higher than that, right? You never came up and filled the gap. So nice little early trend line, but I set it as my target in case it ends up developing as key support. But mainly was this 43 level. We ended up hitting that for 21%. I took half at 21%. That's my rule, 20% minimum. As soon as I hit 20% minimum, I'll take the trim, and then I'll set my second half for stop loss entry. If it continues running, hey, I'll trim some more, right? And then of course your second target would be this low over here. So let's see how much this continues to run, but I took half at 21%. That was Pfizer. Next one is Mara. Mara was a beauty. So what made me take Mara? Of course, the big boy, Bitcoin. Bitcoin. You can see Bitcoin coming into daily supply here. I saw Bitcoin come up into daily supply. Nice strong candle up. I said, okay, we're going to look to pull back a bit here, right? So I went into Mara. Mara had some nice daily supply as well up here. You can see this resistance up there, right there, and right here. Really good price action, right, coming up into here. So I ended up taking it at, it was on this day right here, the 16th. Yes, I took this on the 16th. I took it around, I took it on 30-minute resistance. That's what I did. I took it on 30-minute resistance on the 16th. Where was the 16th? Right there. So what I did was I lined this up right there. I saw 30-minute resistance and I triggered this trade. I took it somewhere around one of these candles right there and ended up actually running. I trimmed the same day. I took monthly expiration. So my swings are monthly expiration. I'm not looking for weeklies. I'm not looking for next week's. I ended up taking a monthly expiration on this um, ticker here. So it was 0317. So March 17th, this ended up dropping. This was my first target. Right now, we got to go back and look at the daily. This is why I set a target right there. Price action, price action, price action. You can see the consolidation above that level. And once you got below, you can see how it's respecting it once it's below, right? And then you got to drop. So that's where I set my target. Same day ended up coming down, hitting my target. And we trimmed for 20%. It ran 20% plus, of course, but I took my 20% and held the second half, stop loss entry if we can get through and continue dropping, right? So nice trade off of Mara here, but noting it off of what? The big boy, of course. Always watch Bitcoin when you're looking at Mara coin and Riot, and that's what I took it off of. Bitcoin coming into supply here, daily supply. Looks like it's going to try to break out, but it's really testing this daily supply. If it ends up coming through on Bitcoin, this will be money right here. So watch Bitcoin for a breakthrough this level. It did break and hold up there, and then ended up faking out, coming back up. But you're really at this resistance now. If you want to look for further upside on Bitcoin, you got to watch this supply break and hold. You're able to do that, you'll look for a move into what, 28.67, whatever, but this around this region right here, right? Let's see what we get, maybe into even 30. Okay, let's see what we get on Bitcoin. But that was my replay off of Bitcoin. Pretty nice, pretty sweet. So these were the few trades, some of the trades I took off of some nice TA, right? Some nice TA. And I took a whole bunch of other trades. Again, I took 19 trades, lost 4, won on 15. So let's look to have another great week. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want me to add anything to these videos, or if you guys have any questions, if you guys prefer, I don't know, if there's anything that you think you'll benefit from when for these recaps, let me know. I'm more than happy to implement them in these weekly recaps. But this is more for, educational purposes, telling you guys what I was looking at, what I was seeing both in swings and day trades. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I will see you guys Thursday, tomorrow morning for those in the Discord, but Thursday for if you guys want to tune into my YouTube live stream. I do share my screen and we trade live together. All right. You guys have a great rest of your day.